Libra, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-June 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Libra collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these beautiful Libras in mid-June? It is still Gemini season at the time of this filming. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you could lean into, which is always interesting. So let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for the beautiful Libras in mid-June. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out nice and quick for you, my friends. We're going to have some fun today. There we go. Cool. Yeah, it's a very tempting type of card, right? Like you see the imagery there. It's similar to the Devil card within the tarot deck, but it's not exactly the same. So it is something that we do want to take a little peek at, right? It's something we want to peel back the layers of. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So again, looking at this energy, it does have a lot of the similar archetypes to the Devil card in the tarot, but it's not identical. We see this devil figure, we see the Eve, we see the serpent, we see the apple. So we have the Adam and Eve symbolism showing up heavy in this card. So I always think of temptation. So for some Libras, if there's certain things, behaviors, situations that you're trying to refrain from, just watch out for the temptation. That could be a big thing. And again, there's nothing wrong with it, right? Like this energy could also be very pleasurable, where it just wants to feel good, right? So again, no judgment here, but there's this energy that I find very alluring, very tempting. It's like it's pulling me towards it for one reason or another. Now, again, for some of you, this could be transmuted in a very positive way. If there are certain things or changes you're trying to make within your life or within your habits, certain things you're trying to heal, this card could be very good because it's like we're staring at it straight in the face. But there could be things that Spirit just wants you to watch out for when this card is here. It's just very tempting and very alluring. So we're going to put it down right there. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Libra. What do we have in mid-June? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So the energy did feel a little clunky last week. The reading was titled A Frustrating Situation. So I hope you haven't had too many of those, right? And that's just part of life, right? Sometimes energy flows nice and smooth, sometimes not so much. So I'd say just even over the next couple of weeks, watch out for things that make you feel stuck, things that frustrate you, that you wish you could shift. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for the lovely Libras in mid-June. What do we got? What do we got for our good friends? Cool. Page of Pentacles. So we might be in the realm of communication when this little guy pops out. I usually like starting with a page because the energy is not too overbearing, but it is big around communication, that's for sure. Let's get a couple more. What do we got for the Libras? People. Lots and lots of people. Okay, so we got the Knight of Swords, which is one of your power cards right there. Why so many people? Let's get one more out here. Again, it doesn't have to just be people, but it's worth looking into. All right, these 2 cards came out together. So we have the Knight of Cups right here on back end, and it also came out right along with the 7 of Cups, which will be your bonus this week. So there is a bit of a predominance of water energy, which could be okay. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, you know me, I always like to look at the elements. I feel like that frames the reading and it tells us how energy could be flowing or how comfortable you might be with it. And there is a nice distribution for the most part, right? We got earth, air, and water on the back end. Now, I'd say most of this energy is not your power place. I mean, the swords in the center, absolutely. But these could just be different things. These could just be different situations, right? Now, when it comes to earth, that's more of the material aspect, right? When I see the earth, I think of results. It's very results driven. It can represent routine, day to day life, things that you do every day, money, work, business, finance, home, family. That all falls under the Pentacles Earth umbrella. And it could be good, could be very bountiful, so to speak. But the downside to too much Earth is that it could be very heavy. It could be very clunky. So, again, similar to what we saw last week, that's something we want to watch out for here. In the center, we have your air element, your power place, your comfort zone. So, that should be pretty good for you. When I look at the air, it does focus more on the mind. It's very cerebral. Air energy is extremely smart, very intelligent. It's about either requiring or giving information. So communication, this is the suit of communication here, aside from the fact that it's like all communication cards this week. So I like the air. It's very fast moving, and the intelligence is great. The downside to it, though, it could be overthinking, right? Like it could be the mind going too much. It could sometimes be a little too clinical. It could be cold. It could be detached. So there are things we want to watch out for. But then we have the water right here in the back. So it's like we have heart and mind, right? Whereas like the swords are very logical, pragmatic. This energy on the back thinks outside of the box. Now, when it comes to water, that is the element of partnerships and connections. It's the element of emotional investment, things, situations that we actually care about and we're emotionally invested in. It's also very creative and artistic and expressive. So I love the water element, but the downside to it is the fact that it could be very overwhelming. Right. So these are things we want to watch out for as we move through. And with you being an air sign, this is your comfort place. Watch out for things, people, situations, conversations that might be a little uncomfortable for you. But let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we're starting with the Page of Pentacles. Now, again, all people in the main part of the spread. It doesn't just have to be people, but I have to mention it, right? This is Earth sign energy, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. Now, the one thing I always say about all pages, they're fresh energy, they're new energy. To me, they represent students and conversation. So you could have that extra thirst for information within your mind. This is great for like new jobs, new hobbies, things that you're putting energy into, learning. Like, so again, now is a great time to memorize things, study things, and learn. So that's a great thing, especially with this page. He does show up a lot with students, but he's also a messenger, specifically the written message. So there is something we want to look out for with the page. Now, what might be the downside of the page? Sometimes they could be a little bashful, right? Sometimes they could cat got your tongue type of energy where it's like, I want to say something. Should I? Shouldn't I? I'll do it. Maybe not. So it's an energy that can be on the fence. So we want to look at this page a little bit because it can be a little too shy. Now, moving to the middle, totally different vibe coming up. As we get this page tucked back in by the amethyst, we have the Knight of Swords, which is, of course, a Libra power card. So when we clarify underneath, it might tell us something about you, something that's coming towards you, a way you might be feeling. This could be any air sign, so Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Now, out of all the knights, and I'll say this about the knights, they represent movement, they represent action, and they are also messengers, right? So you see the theme that we got going on here. The Knight of Swords is the fastest moving one. This one's coming in like a bat out of hell. Talk about cat got your tongue in the front. That is not the deal with the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is letting it rip. He's sending it. So, like, this could be a pretty good energy. It's just very fast, very sudden, very rapid. So we do want to look at him super determined, where it's like, no, I am doing this. I've made my mind up. This is my decision. So we'll look into him further. The only downside with the Knight of Swords is that sometimes it could be a little too aggressive. Sometimes this energy could be a little combative even. So it's something that we do want to take a peek at. Now, moving to the back end, we have a much different vibe showing up here. We have the beautiful Knight of Cups. And one thing to notice, when we add the Knight over here, notice that they're going in different directions. And notice what I said here in the front about this energy being unsure. So that's another thing we want to keep an eye on, because it's like, should I do this or should I go that way? Should I handle it like this? Should I handle it like that? So there is this energy that feels like it's of two minds. But the Knight of Cups is water, right? So Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, any of those. If that's, and again, we have like 3/4 of the whole damn zodiac out here. We don't have to specify by zodiac sign alone. But the Knight of Cups is that just right type of movement where it's not too fast, it's not too slow, it's just right. So I love the flow with this card. Again, action, offers, opportunities, communication, messages. That's a big thing. But the Knight of Cups is like Prince Charming archetype. I often see this when people have the gift of gab, when somebody is like a salesman that's good at convincing people of stuff. And that could be a good thing. but that could also be at the detriment. This is a huge card when it comes to love and emotional states. So we do want to look at him. The downside to the Knight of Cups is sometimes the energy can completely shut down, and this is also an energy that can try to play off of emotions as well, like try to make you feel bad or try to make you feel bad for it. So we'll see what's up with him. Now, on the back end, for your bonus, we have the Seven of Cups. I like this. And we see this person, it looks like he's like, which cup am I going to choose? I like to call this card the menu board of life. Options, choices, paths, decisions. So when we have all this energy going in a lot of different ways, and this showing up in the back makes a lot of sense. It is very imaginative, creative, and outside the box type of thinking, but I would absolutely watch for invasive thoughts or overthinking. But I want to dive deeper on all of it, Libra. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for our friends? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the page, see what the page has. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Libra, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Page O Pentacles. Why are you here, Page? Thank you. Interesting. Okay. So I'm getting a few different things here. I'm just going to tell you what they are. So we have the Six of Swords in reverse. This could absolutely be an energy where it's like, let's re-examine this. Let's rethink this. Like it's an energy that's like doing some thought loops in its head, where it's like, you know what, maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe there's something we overlooked. Let's just cover this just to be safe. So it is like this very cautious type of approach I'm picking up. Don't be surprised if you're talking or do talk about stuff that's like ancient history, like things that may have happened months ago or even years ago. Because like usually when I see the Six of Swords in reverse, it's an energy that's popping back up. It's returning in some form or fashion. And that seems to be a big theme across the whole entire zodiac this week for some reason. Now, the fact that it's in reverse underneath this page does also give me that unsure type of energy. Like, should I? Maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't. But there's this other little vibe of someone like poking and prodding, like trying to get a little bit of attention here, attention there, like little pokes and prods. I don't know what that is, but just watch out for that. There could be certain individuals or things that are like subtly trying to get your attention when I see this. So again, we have the communication conversation. This one is very much on the fence for some reason, and there are like little pokes for attention. That is so unique. We're just going to keep going. And yeah, there is this cautious thing like, yeah, maybe we should look at it again. Or maybe we should rethink this. Or yeah, it's like very, I don't even want to call it indecisive, but we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. We're not going to get hung up there. It is what it is, right? See what I mean? Like even I'm getting the urge to be hung up right here on the front. Let's keep moving over. Let's see what the Knight of Swords has, because he's not going to do all that, hopefully. So why is the Knight of Swords here? Interesting. Okay. This is very risky type of behavior, and I think I've seen this for you like months and months ago. So it doesn't mean that you're going to be out there being a daredevil, my good friends. But when I see the devil with the Knight of Swords, it's like, screw it, I'm going to do it. So like the two main things I'm picking up here is one, if we're talking about talks or conversations, this could absolutely be like an unexpected talk where it's like, let me just rip off the band-aid. Screw it, I'm just going to do it. It's like one of those where it's like, I don't know. Yes, I am. I'm going to act first, ask questions later. And that's where we get into the risky aspect. Remember way back in the beginning of the reading, we had this devil show up. Now the other one is here as well. So this, I mean, that's not a coincidence, right? The mathematical odds of that happening with two separate decks. But anyway, the Knight of Swords with the devil does feel very risky, where it's like, I'm tired of overthinking this. I'm tired of mulling this over. I'm going to do it. It's like one of those energies here. Nothing wrong with some calculated risk, honestly, right? And listen, I have Aries placements, which is the counterbalance to Libra. I totally get it. But this energy here is like throwing caution to the wind and saying, screw it, I'm just going to do something. So it's like we do have this like surprising or unexpected action aspect going on here too. So there's a lot embedded within your reading this week. Now, the devil itself, yes, could it represent addictions? Sure. Could it represent toxicity? Yes. It's great when it comes to money, work, business, and finance. So I absolutely love that. But yeah, to me, the temptation, especially with the first card and with the Knight of Swords, it's like Yeah, sure. You know what? I'm tempted. I'm just going to do it. So watch out for urges in this time. Watch out for risks or risky behavior. If there's someone you're connected to that's acting in a risky manner, that could also be it. So it is an energy taking the plunge. So yeah, unexpected, surprising talk, or even action, or both, or all of the above. Like all of it could be in play with this alignment right here. We're going to keep moving. We're going to see what's up with the Knight of Cups. Then we'll do a quick little recap. So, why is the Knight of Cups here for the beautiful Libras? Let's see if we get a counterbalance to this. So, why is the Knight of Cups here? Okay. Softer approach, same underlying vibe. That's what I'm picking up here. So, I have the Three of Swords in reverse underneath this Knight of Cups, and it's like, yeah, let's talk about it and make it better. It's like one of those. Let's talk it out. Let's air out the problems. Like it's which is a good thing, right? I always say communication is the bedrock of every connection, every relationship, friends, family, or otherwise. And with the Three of Swords in reverse, it wants to talk about something very specific. That's how it's coming through to me. Now, the Three of Swords, usually in the upright, it can represent pain, right? It represents a whole bunch of things. It can represent messy group dynamics and stuff like that as well. In reverse, underneath the Knight of Cups, this does feel very soothing to me. But on the intuitive sense, it's like the same thing as this Knight in the center, but a little softer. So it's like, I'm still going to do it, but I'm going to take my time. It's like one of those. So it is another energy that's taking action, taking a plunge, or addressing something, but it's trying to come through in a more caring manner, not as abrasive. So I do think there is this underlying risky energy this week. I really do. Um, Whether it's you or somebody else, I mean, there could be cross watchers watching this as well. But if to me, it feels like there's something very specific that someone wants to speak about, and it could be like one small detail of one small thing. Remember what we were seeing here in the front end. That's how this feels to me. It's like, let's talk about it and make it better. Or like, there's only one way to make it better, and that's to talk about it. It's like one of those. So let's go through and do a quick recap. There's a lot of information coming through, a lot of people's energy, lots of chit chat going on. But if you look here in the box position number one, we do have a bit of an indecisive energy with the Page of Pentacles and the Six of Swords in reverse. This could also be a cautious approach where someone's like, maybe I should look this over again, or maybe I should rethink this or reanalyze this. There's a lot of that happening here. I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to do the wrong thing. That's the vibe I'm picking up here on the front. But we get a total vibe switch here in the center. When we get to the Knight of Swords and the Devil, it's like, screw it, I'm just going to do it. So again, whether it's unexpected action, whether it's a conversation or a talk, it could be all that. I would just say watch out for the risky behavior because there is a little bit of a warning about that of caving to temptation, taking risks. If it's calculated risk, cool. But this energy is taking the plunge. On the back end, we have the Knight of Cups with the Three of Swords. Same vibe, but a little bit softer. So maybe this would be the ideal one to me. If I were to pick one route to go, I would probably pick this one here on the back because it's still doing the same thing this one's doing, but it's much less abrasive, if that makes sense. There could be someone that wants to talk about something extremely specific. It could be like one minor aspect of one situation. That's how specific it is. But yeah, a lot of talk, and this should be a very interesting week, my friends. Watch out for the urges. Please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yes, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get it going here. What do we got for the beautiful, lovely Libras? Thank you. Cool. Eight of Wands. So what we've been saying about the talking, the chit chat, the action, it's all encapsulated in this card. Now the Eight of Wands is usually just the eight wands cutting through the sky. I always say they look like arrows, but they're the fastest movers of the whole entire deck. I mean, aside from the Chariot, maybe. So it encapsulates this energy that we have right down the center, where it's like, screw it, I'm going to rip the band-aid off. Screw it, I'm going to do it. We're going to talk about this. All the chit chat and talking. This is the big communication card here. So I think in the shadows, I'm going to have to give the warning once again, like what we saw here and in the beginning of the spread. Watch out for the urges, watch out for the impulsiveness. There could be a way to still accomplish the same thing, but do it in a less abrasive way. That's when, because this energy could also barrel right through something. But I don't necessarily think it's bad. And with the Knight of Cups, Three of Swords in reverse, like there's only one way to make something better, and it's to address it. That's the same thing right here too, where it's like, yeah, we got to talk about this. So we're going to put him down right there, Libra. That's what I got for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just that, though. I'm going to give you the details of the June subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My June calendar is live and spots go quick, so you could go check that out. But for the June subscriber surprise, doing another winner's choice, the winners, which will be three, will have a choice between either the Everyday Witches Tarot, which is a lovely tarot deck, one of my all-time favorites, or you can choose a custom pendant from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's two simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards in the deck, which one do you feel represents you and your energy best? You could even pick multiple if you'd like. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab /post tab. My friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.